What's going on, guys? Today, as you may have seen, the game developers announced a ton of content coming to War of the Visions. And if you're like me and you have like a little bit of a plan of what you were going to do, they have essentially thrown a wrench into any possible idea of what we might have thought of. So let's kind of just get started right away. The first thing they announced or talked about, they've already announced this before, they basically just showed the moves in the event for Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider event. And they've also fleshed out her character a little more. She's going to have Gunner, she's going to have Ranger. Sounds pretty standard. Hopefully she has all the good abilities from those sub-jobs, but we'll have to see in the coming days. Next, to me, was the big surprise of today, and that was the announcement of Starlight Elena. So this has been a unit that people have sort of wanted and sort of been predicting a little bit for a while, but they actually went and did it, and they actually pulled out all the stops. This is going to be a cost 100 unit. She's going to be a little bit different from FFBE. I thought she was more of a physical attacker, but it seems like she's going to be a little bit of a magic attacker in this game. But she is staying with the light element. She's dropping the water, obviously, because this is where there is so far has been a single element game. So this is actually really, really exciting. However, one thing that I'm sort of have in my mind is sort of the timing of all this. And it kind of is not really looking like it's going to be friendly in terms of building and pulling for all these units. So as I kind of was thinking in my mind, this is sort of like what I had in my mind of what I might be building in the coming couple of months. I'm still working on the Final Fantasy VII units. I know that Lara Croft is coming, so she's kind of there also. And then maybe next month, I was sort of expecting, Ruin Stern is about to get his EX job. If we go by JP, Halloween units are coming, and I have a feeling in my mind that Halloween Leela is going to be really, really good in terms of the EX. So I'm not really sure, but I kind of just have her there as someone that's in my thought. The question mark is going to be there's definitely going to be new Halloween units, probably too, but we have yet to see. And also, shortly after the Final Fantasy VII event in JP, they started their Final Fantasy 15 event pretty much out of nowhere. And if you didn't see on the JP server, they actually ran that at the same time as the swimsuit units, the summer units. So Gumi is pretty much throwing a bunch of things on top of each other, kind of forcing us to decide or pay off if we want, more characters. And to me, that's perfectly fine. I definitely want to work on and get a lot of these characters, and I'm gonna try to do my best to plan all of them. So, and then after the Halloween units, basically the Christmas units, and we kind of knew that, Final Fantasy IV is going to have a rerun. There's going to be some other units there, but these are kind of the ones that I'm sort of thinking about. And of course, there's going to be new Christmas units. So this overall shows my expectation of what I was kind of planning to do for the coming months. And this is the reality of what's going to happen. There's going to be temptation all over the place. This is sort of not 100%, but this is how I'm seeing it right now. And I kind of purposely threw all these units on top of each other. And there's going to be more than this. There's going to be the selection quest, and there's going to be other stuff there. But these are sort of some of the bigger units that are coming up. So to me, it's kind of insane what can potentially be coming out in the next couple of months. And I think Gumi is pulling out all the stops to kind of get us to spend. I guess they've been making enough money to pay more artists and more planners and all this stuff. And they're just basically throwing everything they possibly can into the game. So now that I kind of have this idea in my head, I sort of said, you know what? I have to sort of break this down and sort of see what I'm going to try to do for the next couple of months. So I hope that you are kind of doing the same, and I'm just going to go over what I think I'm going to do, sort of figuring what they've shown so far and what might come out in the coming weeks. And so this is sort of my plan for as soon as the week refreshes. My main focus is going to be Lara Croft. Thankfully, we are getting her card for free, the first copy, so all we have to do is really build her shards. So hopefully that shouldn't be too much of a problem between star shards and guild summons and all that stuff. Hopefully that shouldn't be too bad. So I'm going to try to focus on that. And of course, we have to pull her, so I have some viz set aside for that. Hopefully I don't have to end up spending too much of that viz. My Final Fantasy VII units, I was kind of already thinking like the Chocobo Expeditions, I'm going to have to switch it to whatever Lara Croft is going to be. So they're already going to be on the back burner for that. But now that we also have the announcement of the Winter unit being rerun, I might have to throw my Ramada in there. I might have to pull for Venera. Depending on how they do the banners, I might throw in some, just some viz in there just to kind of throw it in and just see what I get. I'm not expecting to get anything else, but I'm hoping to maybe pull one of the other units. If I do that, then probably not going to really build them, but at that point the Barracks space becomes so much more valuable, and at that point I might have to start rotating my Final Fantasy VII units out, starting with Barracks because my Barracks already done, but the other 3 are still not done, and I would like to have at least 2 or 3 FF7 units in there just to get Mind Spheres. I'm gonna have to, I didn't really want to, but I'm gonna have to. I was doing pretty decently in terms of the amount of time we have left for Final Fantasy VII. I thought I would be able to build Tifa to at least 115 or 120 and then sort of start working on Cloud. But I think at this point I'm going to have to start putting actual money into the game and buying those shards, maybe for Cloud, I guess, and then just having that extra 100 shards. Not entirely sure. In terms of these other units that are sort of, Glaciella kind of came out sort of unexpected, and the Winter unit. So I'm pretty much going to have to skip the 2 units that I like the least, I guess. I am tempted, like I would probably pull for Venera or Macherie if they were bundled well. I'm not sure how that's going to go. Maybe they'll do a paid banner with all the Winter units. Who really knows? But if that's the case, I might do that. But honestly, I'm leaning towards, I already have Ramada, so I'm leaning towards just getting her shards. And Venera kind of, I think, might be the one I want the most out of those 4. So, or out of the remaining, 4, including Glaciella. So I think maybe there's a possibility that I might try pulling for her, or, but it's a very small possibility considering all of this that I might have to invest into Lara Croft. So that's sort of the first phase that we're kind of going through. All right, so now the second phase here, they've already announced Elena, so Elena sounds like a cool character, and I kind of want her. I don't think I'm going to have the viz to pull on Lara Croft and her, unless I pull Lara on the first pull and somehow build her for completely free. So I'm probably not going to end up pulling for Elena. Who really knows? I might throw in some money. I doubt that I'm going to throw in that much money, but, this is sort of what I'm thinking. Last time they did the Zazan, so I don't know if Zazan is coming, I don't know if Dwayne is coming, but this is sort of just a guess. Last time they did, the whole Dwayne and Freya via Zazan, I was trying to pull for Dwayne and I ended up pulling Zazan. So he's been in my Barracks and, he's at O before, so I'm kind of thinking maybe I might invest in him. I didn't really want to invest in him back then, but I did invest in him to finish the bingo board. But, he's going to be sort of okay. So it's a possibility that I might invest in him. It's a possibility I might try to pull for Elena. Fryevia, I kind of want. I might throw, some YOLO pulls in there. I don't really know what I'm going to do. That's why I just have it as question mark. This is really going to be... I'm going to have to really feel this out and how tempted I feel. I wasn't planning to pull for Dwayne, but I did. I was like, let me throw some Viz in there, and I managed to pull those on. So that's kind of what happened last time. So I don't really know what's going to happen this time. I'm just kind of thinking, you know, these are possibilities. In terms of Stern and Dwayne, Stern I already have, so I'm definitely going to try to, do the chocobos if possible. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with him. Maybe throw him into the barracks, but again, I don't have much barrack space, so I'm not really sure. The thing is, I know I'm not going to do is I'm not going to buy his shards because we are soon getting the update where basically the previous double cost units are going to become regular cost. So I think it's a good time to hold off on that and sort of not rush either Dwayne or Stern. If they Stern is most likely coming. If Dwayne comes back, I think it's probably a good idea to maybe wait. I'm not entirely sure because then again we do have to wait probably another 3 or 4 months for them to come back. So you never know. And I don't really know the timing of the shard price change. It might happen when they come back, or we might have to wait till next time. Who really knows? But in my mind, I sort of just want to wait for that price drop from before I start investing in shards, Vizier into shards. Okay, so sort of after all that stuff, this is to me is like the December stuff. The previous slide was maybe October, November, but this is going to be the December slide. So basically, what's going to happen is that we're going to get the Final Fantasy IV rerun, and so I have a feeling that we're probably going to get the Christmas units again, and we're probably going to get the new Christmas units. So this is sort of my plan here is to, I already have Kane and Cecil, so I'm probably going to try to get their shards, get as many shards as I can. We might get skill summons, but in JP, so this is the screenshot I have on the top right there, and it's in the next slide, so if you can't see it, I'm going to show it again. But basically, they're in JP, they have daily pulls where you can get any of the Final Fantasy units or Demon Wall. Don't mind that Ifrit there, I just happened to pull that Ifrit. But you can pretty much daily pull 40 shards of one of the units or Demon Wall, and that's going on for 10 days in JP. So it's a possibility that we're gonna get that. So I think that's gonna make it pretty reasonable, let's just say, to sort of build the EX for these units. I don't remember if there's guild pulls. I will have to double check that, but I don't remember if there's guild pulls, but this might be replacing the guild pulls. But if there is guild pulls, that's going to be even better, and obviously star shards and stuff like that. So that's definitely going to be good. And again, the winter units are going to be definitely tempting for me again. Again, this might be stuff that I just throw a few pulls in there. I might not pull hardcore for them. I might just throw a few pulls in there. And then sort of the units that I don't have from the FF4 collab are sort of just going to be maybes. Golbez does look really cool, and it'd be nice to have them, but I really don't know. 2 months from now, it's hard to predict what I'm going to be doing, but sort of this is just stuff that's on my mind. And I think at the same time, we're also going to be doing, I think this might come before the FF4 stuff. We might get these Crystal Warriors. Lucio's going to be free, and then Joom. You guys already know her crazy banner, what that's going to be like. So to me, that's probably going to be a skip. Lucio's going to be free, so hopefully we should all be able to build him pretty quickly. It seems like the event is easy enough, so hopefully I think we should all get him. And I'm predicting that by this time my Ramada will be done. So considering that, actual December and Christmas might be coming, it might be a good idea to not even bother with the Christmas units during this rerun. Obviously, the developer said that we might get something for them soon for the EX, and they've taken way too long. And so I'm not sure if the first rerun is the right time to get them. I think maybe waiting for actual Christmas might be the real play. But who knows? They might decide not to not to bring them back for Christmas and only bring back new units. They might have 3 or 4 new units. We never know. With this increased pace of releasing units, we don't know what's going to happen. And also, before I forget, I completely forgot to mention Final Fantasy 15 in my previous slide. I definitely was thinking to build Prompto, I think his name is. And so I was definitely thinking to build him, but now with all this stuff going on, I'm not sure where I'm going to get the Visor to be able to build him. I've already used a lot of my Chocobo tickets on Final Fantasy 7, so I really don't know if I'm going to be able to build them, or I guess I'll have to pay up to really build them. Alright, so this next slide is basically the poll. I'm showing you the poll. These were free polls. It's a 10 times summon, and then you get the Final Fantasy 4 unit shard or the demon wall. Golbez is not included. Obviously, this is only for the older units. Alright, so one other thing they sort of, I don't think they really mentioned in the presentation, but it's in the announcements for the week, is that we're getting the VC hard quest list. Thankfully, like, this has been the pretty much the worst part of my day, is having to go through the map and sort of pick out the things. I know you can go from the card itself through the shard, but I feel like that's more steps. I usually go through the map, but hopefully this is coming this week, because I am so tired of going through the map to get this. And I don't know if this is going to happen at the same time, but at some point we're going to get the ability to just check off. So we're going to get this for units and for VCs. You can just check off the ones you want to do, and you press that nice big blue button at the bottom, and you can basically use your skip tickets to skip all of that and do all 6 or all 10 at the same time. That's going to be fabulous. I can't wait for that to come. Alright, and then the last thing here is another thing that they mentioned, and that would be the Esper Chambers. Again, this is in the announcements. It wasn't in the presentation. The Esper Chambers, they're going to change it. This is what it looks like in JP. They're going to change it by element. So if you click on Ifrit at the top, you're going to get all the fire element Espers. And it's going to make it a lot easier instead of scrolling through that giant list of Espers. So guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. This kind of ran a little bit long, but hopefully this is somewhat of a useful conversation here. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Looking forward to, regardless of all the stuff that's happening, I'm looking forward to all these units, and I'm glad Gumi's pushing out so much stuff. It gives us a lot of options. It's sort of making it hard for people to say, okay, this unit is going to be the best, and this unit, you know, whatever. So people are going to have to choose which units to pick. Alright guys, I'm going to end it there. Let me know in the comments what you're planning to do, or if you even have a plan. Are you just going to pull willy-nilly? Are you just going to throw money in? What are you guys thinking? So, alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.